All right, we're live.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone,
hey, it's Ash,
and Matinee.
and we're from the Seven Sisters Forum,
Yes,
and welcome to our hangout today.
welcome.
So we're just gonna do free form, pretty much. We don't have a schedule or an agenda to talk about. If you start watching and you wanna add in, there's a Q&A section, so you can ask a question, or you can join the chat, which is cool too.
Oh, sweet.
Um, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Technology is so great. I love the future.
Agreed. It's really cool.
Yeah. So, Seven Sisters Forum is a forum for all like non-human people, sometimes called otherkin. But there's a lot of terms for us. Jordan Virtue calls us Earth Angels. I don't really like that, but that's a term for us. And Seven Sisters is really geared towards God and goddess types, so goddesses in human form, and fairies and angels and all types. And whatever your type is, even if it's straight purely human, you're welcome at Seven Sisters. It's sevensisters.boards.net. Um, so this is the first time that we've chatted live. So it's really exciting for me to be able to chat with you.
Likewise.
It's like a really long time coming. We've known each other for a couple of years now.
Yes.
And I don't know, like you've been a really good addition to the forum completely.
Well, thank
Like,
you.
yeah, your thoughts are so like they add a lot of depth, and your story like helps other people to get their stories too.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah, for sure. So
I mean,
I
I know I don't post a lot, but I try to post whenever I do have something to say.
yeah, yeah. And you say like meaningful things.
I
So
try.
yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
No problem.
Um So I don't know. I'm getting like some feedback, so I'm like trying to figure out where that's coming from. Like, what is that?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure this out too. I was like, am I the only one hearing that, or?
Mystery.
I know I don't post a lot, but I try to.
Oh, it's like okay. It's like I don't even know. I'm gonna close this window. All right, I think that fixed it.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too.
this is my first time using this format, so it's like a learning curve.
It really is.
So so for me, like recently, wow, like I just traveled across the country, right? And I traveled across the country on a bus. I came from DC. I'm in San Francisco right now.
Oh
I'm in
wow.
San Francisco to meet up with my soulmate. Hopefully, definitely, he's here. All the guides are here, and they're reassuring me that he's here all the time and he's gonna come and see me on Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, I'm really excited.
That's
I was,
great.
yeah,
I'm really excited for you, Ash.
yeah, thanks.
No
Thanks.
problem.
Yeah. And I feel like it's gonna really change the planet in a lot of ways too. I like the stronger our connection gets between me and him, every time I have a stronger connection with him, I feel like some spiritual new age person will post on like Facebook or something like there's a huge energy flux coming into the planet right now. It's like, oh no, it's just me. Like, it's okay, calm down. But there's definitely like huge energy blasts like going out every time I connect with him. And that's just been like even without meeting him yet. So when we meet, I feel like this is gonna be super intense.
Oh yeah, like a nuclear bomb of energy.
Right? Yeah, hopefully in like the good way.
Of course.
We get to see like fairies and angels and magic come back, and not in the bad way where like California's destroyed or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't want that kind of bomb.
No. So yeah, the magical path can be so like crazy sometimes, right? Like, what kind of experiences have you been having? Like any type?
Experiences? I don't know. I don't really have many experiences like that. It's mostly in the form of just interesting dreams.
Yeah, yeah. So you get dreams of like past lives and dreams of like your soulmates.
More my soulmate than past lives.
Yeah, yeah. Is this like so important for all of us to come back together, like all the soulmates and for like love? It's like
Yes.
really intense.
Love
So
really is a beautiful and powerful thing.
yeah. So I run a lot of goddess energy, and my soulmate runs a lot of god energy, and like we're really, 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 really old souls, like super, super old. um, so I just feel so weird, like even like saying that out loud, like what? What is my life?
I know, right? That's being otherkin in a nutshell. Just what is my life now?
Exactly. Every day is just weirder and more amazing and more miraculous, but weirder than the last day.
Pretty much.
God, I love it, but there's no like guidebook, there's no rule book for like here's how your life is gonna get really crazy and intense.
Oh, I wish there was.
Right, exactly. So, what kinds of dreams like have you had any dreams recently that you want to share with me?
Nothing I would say, honestly. Like, I have interesting dreams sometimes, but I haven't really had any of this sort recently.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone who's watching this, they don't know you like I know you.
Right.
They're not lucky enough to know you yet like I know you. So do you want to share like just anything so that people get to know you and like why you're the chaotic goddess and why you're who you are? Like what is your presence on the planet signifying for us all right now?
I've never really thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a deep question.
It is. It really is. I mean, I can discuss how I can discuss my awakening process.
Totally.
Because I really feel like it happened when I was 17, but like the actual awakening started when I was 17. But I feel like even before that, like when I was a kid, I knew somehow, like deep inside, that I wasn't human.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much always, like before my awakening, had like this, I would say, a borderline obsession with the divine, like angels. I was a Christian when I was a child.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, when I die, I really want to be one of God's angels. Like I didn't. And when I found out seraphim, I was like, oh, that's what I want to be when I die. I want to be one of God's seraphim.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of escalated when I was getting a little older. Like when I was 9 or so, I came up with a character. Like and she was a blatant representation of what I wanted to be. She was a goddess. Like she was a total Mary Sue. But and her traits were really exaggerated, like even more so than what my actual abilities I feel actually are.
Yeah.
But the important part was that she was a goddess. And then when I was 17, it was just this out of the blue aha moment, like, oh my god, I'm not human.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing leading up to it. It was just in the middle of the day, I was sitting on the floor and I was like, I'm not human. Holy shit. Wait, can we curse here?
Huh?
Can we curse here?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, nice. Okay,
yeah, YouTube. we don't have FAA regulations. Well, so what was that feeling like for you when it was like, oh, I'm not human? Like, what did that feel like?
It was just like this big revelation that like it just, like I said, it came out of nowhere. There's nothing leading up to it. I wasn't thinking about anything that would have led up to it. It just happened, and it was a huge surprise, and it was also like it was a really good feeling, but it was also really surprising. Yeah. And my second thought was like, oh my god, so I have to tell someone about this.
Yeah. You have to share.
Yeah, and I did, and unfortunately, the first person who I told, they thought I was crazy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because
there's always those people.
How like. It's not something that we talk about a lot, right? Like in society, like anywhere. And hopefully like that's changing. So I think that's part of the reason why like it's important to have the forum and to have these chats and to talk about it like more openly, because there are so many of us out there. Like, it's not just like a handful of people. It's really like a lot of people, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
sometimes I'll talk about on the website how like the gates closed, and when the gates closed, so like the gateways. What are the gateways? Like, okay, so there's this world that we see, and this is the physical world,
Yes.
and then there's like other worlds that we don't see. So you were talking about angels a second ago, and there's like fairies, and there's ghosts, and there's demons, and there's all sorts of things, and they're all very real. And but they're hidden from us, but they can still interact with this plane. And so there's kind of like a veil like separating us, and so you have to be like really highly trained magically, like I am. It took like 17 years to get to the level where I am. It took a lot of training, but you have to be like really trained to be able to freely interact. When the gateways were open, these were these portals all over the planet, and they were dotting the planet. And when the gateways were open, you didn't have to be trained for 17 years. You could just openly interact with the fairies and with the angels and goddesses, and it was a lot easier.
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't this huge, like, terrible process. So, um, so the gates being closed, also, I think, apparently, what we discovered, right, is that it trapped a lot of us on the planet, like people that are not quite fully human, and we can only incarnate as human. That's the only option for us on this plane. If you want to be sentient too, if you can incarnate as a tiger, you can totally do it, but you might not get much done.
Yeah, it wouldn't really benefit you in the long run.
Right, right. So if you're trying to get home, if you're trying to make magic, if you're trying to reunite with your soulmates or your friends and like get stuff done, you want to incarnate as a human. We're the highest life form on this physical plane, but we're not the only life form out there, and there are so many other people and places and things, and it's so varied. There's so much. So it's frustrating. I know I get frustrated all the time. I'm just like, I miss magic. I miss what things are really like. I miss seeing like all layers at all times.
Oh, I get really frustrated. It's like, how much longer do I have to be like this?
Yes, right?
It's like almost always that feeling of just, can I be a goddess again now?
Right? Like,
yeah.
Can I like levitate stuff? Like,
yes.
and just like, move energy around. Oh my God. Just, you could feel it. It's like on the tip of your hands, like, I'm so close. I can almost do this thing. And then it's just, something blocks it, right? It's just like,
yes.
How do I get through like that veil? How do I get through that gate? How do I blast those gates wide open so I don't have to deal with this shit anymore?
I know, right? Like, if only we could literally do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I know we used to talk about that a lot. On the other forum where we met, the Shadow of the Fallen forum, before we created Seven Sisters, because Seven Sisters is more geared towards us, like gods and goddesses and avatars, and Shadow of the Fallen is more for like angels. So and neither of us is an angel.
Right.
But the gateways being closed still impacted everyone who's not like fully human. So we used to talk about that a lot on that forum, how to open the gateways. What's going to happen when the gateways open? Is it going to be a huge blast, or is it going to be like really good things happen? You get to see fairies and unicorns and and ETs maybe. I don't know. But what is going to happen? And there are people that were really scared, like Ishtar. She was always really scared about if you open the gates, maybe the gates should be closed. Maybe a whole bunch of demons are gonna just flood into this dimension, and life will be really shitty, and it won't be really fun, and you won't really be able to fight it because you'll still be getting your abilities back. And there's so few of us who've been in human forms for so long. Like, I wonder about that. It's not gonna be like, oh, we're instantly going to know how to use our abilities. It's going to be like a huge learning curve, probably, right?
Oh, I would think so. I've thought about that before, and it definitely seems like something that wouldn't just be instant. You would have to relearn everything, and it's a lot to relearn.
A lot. It's like moving to another country. You have to learn all the customs and all the language and all that, right? And how to dress. And
the catch is that you don't have a guide.
You don't have a guide. Yeah. For magic, yeah.
Yep. It's basically, here you go. Learn everything. Good luck.
Go for it. Yeah. Hope it works out for you.
Yep.
Try not to shoot your eye out, kid. Oh man. But yeah, like I know the journey it's been kind of stressful at times, right? I mean, sure, like being human is like this is not how things are supposed to be.
Yes.
But it can be very isolating, right? Because a lot of us we only find each other through the internet. You don't want to talk about this stuff like in public on like TV. People don't talk about it, and so you're not gonna just know like, oh, here are the signs to finding your fellow like avatar. And it's hard to strike up a conversation in real life, like face to face.
Yeah.
About it, like, oh, like, do you feel fully human? Because I don't. I sure as fuck don't. Like, what about you?
It's like this huge production you have to make out of it if you're gonna say it.
That's one of those things. Like,
yeah. Hello?
Are you still there? I feel like the microphone cut out.
Yeah, it cut out for a minute.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Oh, awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I always have to put my glasses on when I'm actually trying to read the screen. Because I can't see.
I'm farsighted. I mean, I'm nearsighted. I can't see far away. I have glasses for that.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I can see like right here.
Sitting here.
Yeah.
I can barely see a few inches in front of my hand without my glasses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a really isolating process, and you can feel really alone, but you're not alone, right?
Yes,
like,
right.
You're not alone. There are so many other people like us.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're trapped here, but at least we're not trapped here by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. That's been the best thing. It's been like reconnecting with you guys on like the forum, and getting our memories back. It's been so like life-changing. I feel like it's really like helped me in a lot of ways. Like I used to be really depressed, like so depressed, and I used to have like really bad anxiety, and a lot of that came from issues with my past lives, like all the wars we fought. And like I think I kind of have like PTSD from wars from past lives. You know? Like there's one in particular that's like really messing with me right now, but it's just like my soulmate and me. So the guy I'm gonna meet on Wednesday, we were involved in like so many conflicts together, and sometimes with each other and sometimes against each other. And that's the thing with past lives. Like sometimes you're an enemy and sometimes you're a friend or a lover. So we were involved in a lot of conflicts together, and the last conflict that I kind of remember, I just can't really remember. It's like kind of like fragments, like I'll get a flash and it's like, oh, I don't want to remember that, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's really distressing. I don't want to see that. But definitely like there's so many things that have come through to this life, like a fear of leadership. I get afraid of like really coming out of my shell, like 100%, and being like, I'm the goddess, bitches.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I really like. I feel like I normally have a hard time being the leader type in this life, but at the same time, I feel like if push came to shove or shit hit the fan, that I would make an excellent leader.
Yeah.
But it would take a big push for me to be like, okay, bitches, listen up.
Exactly, right. Like you see the demons flowing through the gateways, like everyone calm down, I got this. Like follow me.
Exactly.
Follow me, you'll be okay. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I'm fighting a cold, so we went to Jamba Juice and got some just orange juice, so I'm just like,
Jamba Juice is delicious.
So good. So good.
I've only had them once or twice, but their juice is so good.
And it's curing me. I can feel it. I can feel it in my cells. Like, yeah. There's like so So, okay, so I'm a psychic, right? And I'm like a magic worker. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'm having conversations with you guys, even on the forum, like typing. And sometimes it's like, it's totally me, like 100% me. And
Mhm.
sometimes it'll be like my guides will
Mhm.
kind of like step in and start channeling through me and be like, say this thing. And I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to say that. And it
Mhm.
kind of is still what I think, but it's more coming from like a higher dimension
Mhm.
sort of thing. And so I'm getting that feeling right now where my guides are kind of stepping in and they're like, oh, hey, we have some stuff we want you to talk about. And so it's not really me talking, but so I'm getting this like channel right now where they're just like, we want you to talk about 2012. In 2012,
Mhm.
Seven Sisters wasn't around yet, so we were on Shadow of the Fallen,
Right.
and there was so much build up to 2012. Like we have to get all the Fallen together, we have to all activate ourselves because 2012 is when the gateways are going to open, and or
Mhm.
something's going to happen. Like we have to
Yeah.
free ourselves, right?
Mhm.
And 2012 came and went, and it seemed like nothing happened, but a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened.
Mhm.
Like when I was a kid, I remember, like you were talking about knowing how you were super magical when you were a kid, or having that like attraction to the magical.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, it was this exact same way. And I had this, I had this like instinct that I couldn't become powerful because if I became powerful, I was going to be killed.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, when I was like 6,
Oh
it was like
wow.
if you use magic, people are going to kill you.
That's a pretty heavy thing to think about.
Well, yeah. So I didn't, I like suppressed all my magic and I suppressed all my abilities, and I
Mhm.
just made sure I never was like too bright or too. And people still saw me like magic workers.
Ah, damn. Hello? I think you cut out again. Oh boy. Sorry, I think it cut out again.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me see. Let me put my glasses on.
Alrighty, sorry about that.
It's okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. And
Yes.
I can hear you.
Awesome. So what were you saying?
Yay.
You said you're
Um,
suppressing your they had to suppress their magic, but you were still being, but what light worker magic workers are still finding you. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So before 2012,
Mhm.
like what we know now is it was really dangerous. Like the instinct was right.
Mhm.
And so there's like kind of these evil forces
Mhm.
that have been controlling the planet for
Mhm.
thousands of years.
Mhm.
Around when the gateways closed,
Mhm.
around when all the magic left, is when they like really took over and they're like, yeah, we have domination. And sometimes people write about like David Icke is
Mhm.
pretty good. ICKE, David Icke. And he
Mhm.
writes about like reptilians and he gets some stuff kind of wrong. So there is a being in 4D, and we talk about on Seven Sisters as being like the enemy or the corruption.
Mhm.
And I think that's what he refers to as reptilians. I don't know if all reptilians are bad, but
Mhm.
he's talking about that kind of like sucking force that wants chaos and bad things to happen on the planet,
Mhm.
and it lives in a dimension that's next to our dimension,
Mhm.
but not like close enough for us to really interact with that easily.
Mhm.
And so they've been controlling the planet for a really long time, and so they like he'll also write about like the Illuminati and stuff, and that's how he was really helpful for me,
Uh-huh.
because he pointed out how a lot of like in the US, right where we are, like a lot of
Yes.
government agencies
Mhm.
have this like shadowy agenda of
Yes.
like taking over the world and
Mhm.
creating destruction and creating death and creating chaos and suppressing people who bring light and who bring what's good into
Yeah.
the world. And they're really practiced at it. They've been doing it for a really long time. So what you have is these people in 3D, in this dimension, we call it like 3D, who are part of like government agencies, banking cartels, all sorts of things. And you have people in 4D, like what he calls reptilians, what we call the enemy, and
Mhm.
they've kind of joined together. And so they kind of had both dimensions on lockdown. So it was really dangerous to be magical in the physical and really dangerous to go out in the astral too. It was just dangerous everywhere to be a magical person. And what
Yeah.
happened in 20, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, especially because we've been in human form for so long, and we haven't used
Yeah.
our, and we haven't had full control over magical abilities for so long, hardly any control of it. if any. And I mean, in that way, it really is dangerous for something magical.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I mean, we have the power, but we just can't use it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and powers, and you can't, and there's not real, and power isn't really useful if you can't use it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes
it's like it's
sometimes
like
it could be a hindrance instead of
yes,
a help.
yes, it's like you're powerful, but you can't use it. The only thing it's good for is making you a target.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's such an excellent point. That's like a really good point. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. That's like really true.
Thank you.
Yeah, it makes you a target, and you're not practiced at it. Um, so what happened in 2012 was we have basically we did defeat like that alliance that they had, right? So they were controlling everything in 3D and in 4D. And there were so many like light workers around the planet and us, like really super magical people who came together before 2012, and that's why we were brought all together, was for that and like for everything beyond what we're doing now. But like all of our forces combined, we like destroyed that alliance they had, and they're still kind of around, but they don't have power over us anymore. And like their power was really based in their partnership. Like the people in the enemy in 4D would like come to our plane and be like, oh, like this person's like a really powerful person, you should take them out. And then they would go do that. And they don't have that anymore. So like they don't know, you know, how to defeat us, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I'm definitely pretty happy. It also means we can start coming out of hiding and start connecting with each other and being like really strong, powerful people. And of course, a lot of credit goes to all the people who came before us who walked those really dangerous roads and decided to be like the bright, shining light and didn't get killed.
Oh yeah. Major kudos to them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But it's a good time to be alive on the planet, I feel like, more than the past couple thousand years, for sure.
I would think so, yeah.
Like, do you get other past life memories of, like, human lives where you've been here?
I actually don't believe I have.
No?
No.
I have a lot, and they all end really violently.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, not all of them. I've had peaceful lives, but I've had a lot of lives where it's like, oh, you got like murdered or burned or like like all this terrible stuff. The magical lives is where all that stuff happens. And then the lives where I try to reunite with my soulmate, I always end up dying really early. So
oh wow.
I know. So I think this time is different. Like the enemy's been defeated, and so much of us we've like reconnected, and that helps a lot. Reconnecting with your soul friends because your energy lends to the other people around you and makes the other people more powerful. So it's not just you by yourself.
Right.
It's everyone together. But he's you can like interrupt me at any time. I feel like I'm just like
Nah, I actually don't have much to say. I feel like I'm more useful just giving my commentary over so often because, like I said, I really don't know what to talk about on my end.
No, for sure. But yeah, feel free to like interrupt me. But yeah, like in the past, I've been the runner. Like people talk about like twin souls, and sometimes you have a chaser and you have a runner. And I've been the runner. I've been the person who didn't want to wake up and be the goddess again because I was like, fuck being the goddess. Like that'll get me murked. So like, I don't like being assassinated. It's not fun.
Oh no! Oh, nobody does.
Right?
Being assassinated is not fun, I'm sure.
No, it's really not. And with him, because he's so powerful, like I can only be like fully super magical around him. And so every other life where we've tried to come together in human form, I just like die. I'm just like, nope, I'm out. Like, peace. like one of the last lives I remember, I was in like Victorian England, and I was like 19. I was young. I'm 32 now, so young compared to how I am now. And he was in love with me, and I lived in like kind of like a mansion in like England. And I just got like a coughing illness, and I just like wasted away and died like really quickly.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
That does not sound like a good way to go.
No,
At all.
no. So there's a lot of resistance like in my body, just from like even when I come close to him in this life. I've come close to him a couple of times in the physical. We haven't really talked, but we will come close to each other ish. And my feet always act up. So the first time I came close to him in the physical, I got plantar fasciitis, which is like the arches of my feet collapsed.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Jeez.
it was extremely painful, and I just couldn't. I was just like I couldn't do anything. And then the second time, I just had like a little bit of like pain, but I didn't come that close to him. And this time, I'm about to meet him. My ankles have swollen up. My ankles are like this big right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's always like my feet. They're always like, I don't know. They say like when you have like past life injuries and stuff with a person, like that those injuries will reactivate until you clear that. So I have some past life injury, I'm sure, where I just haven't fully remembered it. It hasn't fully cleared out of my body, and so it's still activating and coming up.
Yeah.
Whenever. And even right now, like being sick kind of reminds me of like that Victorian England life, right? Like having the coughing illness. It's like, okay.
Yes.
Like so many things. But
it seems like you're all over the place in terms of your health right now, just because you're so close to your soulmate.
Yeah, it's been really stressful spiritually and really stressful physically. Like my body is just like fighting it. And and spiritually, yeah, that's so like accurate. That's so true. It's like I feel that part of myself is just like no, like it's like very resistant to like love and being loved, which is not helpful for me or for the planet, because if I'm running goddess energy and the goddess has been running from love for a really long time, it's like, okay, it's time to stop doing that. It's time to stop running from love and let yourself be loved, and then let that energy transform on the planet so the goddess can rise, right?
Most
like
definitely.
the goddess.
Yes.
But it won't happen unless I can accept him. Fuck. I think it's so uncomfortable. Like, I just wish there was an easier way around it, right? Like,
oh, definitely.
Do I have to like bare my soul? And I mean, he's a great guy. He's a really great guy. Like, he's really sweet. He's really amazing. And we have like spiritual conversations. Like, he's a telepath. I'm not a telepath, and he's a telepath, and he has telepathic conversations with me. And the first time he did it, I was like, "What is this?" Like.
Oh, I can't blame you.
I was just so like freaked out.
It seems like it's really jarring.
Really, really jarring. Like. And he's not shy, so he'll just be like, "Oh hey," and I'll be like, "Oh hey, I'm like naked in my room. What's up?" Like, whatever. I've seen you naked plenty of times. Have you? That's good to know.
I mean, technically he has.
Exactly. So, but he's good. He's really sweet, and he's really funny. I love that about him. Like, I'll get angry, and then he'll just like tell a joke. I'll feel like, oh, I'm not angry anymore.
Oh, that's cute.
And he's a musician.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So he's like super artistic, and I'm really looking forward to like living a life with him, whatever life that is, however that turns out, whatever it is.
Yes.
I trust him.
That sounds great, though. That you're gonna be getting back together with him.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. And it's much needed. Like the planet is just falling apart right now. Like love, come back.
Yes.
There's
just so much negativity in the world. There needs to be more love, more positive things happening.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you turn, it's like death and destruction and war.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just that that's in the news, and it's not just that that's all they talk about. It's just that it seems like to be what's mainly happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of intense things happening on the planet.
Where... I mean, I know some people will say like, "Oh, it's just because that's all they talk about on the news." There's a lot of positive things happening, but like really, but there really is a lot more negative than positive. I feel at this point in time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the goddess needs to come back, right?
Yes.
And that includes all of us. So how are you, like, in your awakening process? Like, how's that been going for you?
Well, it's just going as it usually does. Like what do you mean specifically? I mean, when I hear that, I don't know how to answer.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do I mean by awakening process? I mean, well, I guess it's threefold, right? It's kind of like coming back to your memories, like remembering how you got to where you are and why everything is the way it is, and it's getting your powers back, and that can happen even in human form. It can happen. So.
I know I've actually had an instance or two where, like years ago, like it hasn't happened since, but
yeah,
I've had an instance at least once or twice a few years ago where I would be laying in my bed trying to go to sleep, and I actually felt like I was levitating a little, and I'm just like, okay, am I imagining this or not? Just like, and it definitely felt like I was levitating like at least an inch or two off my bed, and I was like, oh my god.
Very cool.
It's definitely very.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very intense. Just like, okay, am I imagining this?
That sounds intense. That sounds really intense. Like, I don't know what I would do, actually, if that happened to me. I'd probably be like, no, stop it. Like Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters. Zool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, though. So there's that, memories, getting your powers back, and the third would be reuniting with your soul group, right? So the people that are on the same mission as you, the people that like you used to live with, right? Like you used to have on your team and have your team together. Right. That's super important. That's like really important because it's harder to do things individually than it is to do with your group. That is that's connected to you.
Yes.
So on any of those things, and you already said you had some experiences a while back, so that counts, I think. I've definitely never levitated, so in that way, in that area, you're way ahead of me. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. I mean, like I said, it's only happened once or twice and hasn't happened since. So I don't know. I mean, am I really ahead of you?
Yeah. And it can be hard too, I think, because when magical things start happening, sometimes we can panic a little bit and be like, oh no, and then it stops happening, right? So you have to like cultivate it.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. Just like, oh my goodness, you know? It's definitely shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever think about like going somewhere to like train? And like, because there are people who do that like all the time, and I don't know if they identify as like us, it's like non-human, but there are people that, you know, have those abilities and do that. Like, yeah, no joke. And then like my Tai Chi teacher, his he had a guru in China who was able to levitate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you go to China. And be like, let me seek my master here. Teach me how to use this ability all the time.
It might be something to consider for the future, going to train somewhere, I guess.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I think we have a member of the forum. I think she's around here somewhere in San Francisco, but she does a lot of training all the time.
Huh.
Yeah. So try to control her goddess aspect and try to control her magical abilities and yeah. And it goes back to what you were talking about, how, we've been in human form for so long, and if we don't use our magical abilities, then we're going to be like super weak. So then if when you train in them, then it's like maybe you won't be so weak. Like when the veil falls, maybe you'll be like, okay,
you'll have a head start.
Yeah, you'll have a head start.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, stuff to think about.
Yes, definitely something to think about.
Well, do you have any like other thoughts? I only scheduled us for like an hour. We could definitely talk longer, but I think the life part's just gonna be an hour. So do you have any other thoughts before we head out?
Not that I can think of. No.
All right. Are you sure?
I mean, I really can't think of anything to talk about. I mean, you've definitely had some really good topics.
Thanks.
Yes. No problem.
Cool. Well, we should definitely do this again. I don't know. I liked it. It was fun.
It was really fun. Maybe we could get some of the other forum members on it next time.
Yeah.
That would be great. Then it would be more than just a two-way conversation.
Yeah, like a much like so many other perspectives too.
Yes.
Because there are so many people on the forum, and I think I shared a link. The forum again is sevensisters.boards.net.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to become a member of the forum, come on, join us, and you're welcome. And we welcome all types. We welcome gods and goddesses and ETs and humans, like straight pure humans and magical people, and just come on and join us. Like, you're totally welcome, and we're really nice, and we won't bite you too much.
Unless you want us to.
Unless you want us to, yeah. Just nibble.
Nibble. Yeah. And we have pie.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks you all for joining us. Thanks Matane for joining us, and thanks me for joining us, and thanks all the spirits for joining us too that are in here, like speaking through us, because you're totally welcome all the time. And yeah, that's it for the live broadcast, and I'll talk with you a little bit more off the broadcast.
Alrighty. Cool. Sounds cool to me.